Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this, coming to you live to tape on the road. Wait. Hold on. I'm a little bumfuzzled. I gotta think about that. I'm live and I'm taping at the same time. I'm verklempt. Fuck it. You guys get the idea. Here for Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel on Chaos Corner. Another special preview and prediction show. More preview than predictions for my home company at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Now you know who the Paradise 4 are. Owner Mario Mancini in the WWF from 84 to 92. In the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. In the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Teaches Monday and Tuesday night classes down at the dojo. Then there's our head trainer, Pretty Paul Roma. That's right. 4 Horsemen, Power and Glory, Pretty Wonderful, Young Stallions. Once you graduate from Mancini's classes on Mondays and Tuesdays, you go over to Wednesday and Saturday classes with Paul Roma to sharpen up, to get buffed up, waxed. And if you're good enough, within like a 6-month, year period, depending on your progress and what you can do, you'll get to debut at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, because not only is it a training facility where they mentor young men and women and teach you about respect and physicality and how to work and ring psychology, emotional investment, storytelling, they also run their own events. Not too many wrestling facilities are doing that. So Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Then there's our other trainers. Co-trainer, second-generation grappler. His parents were luchadors, where they had their setup and their gym and their training in the basement. Let that sink in. I believe cousin to the legendary WWF veteran Roberto Soto, if I'm not mistaken. And that would be one, Mr. Paul Perez. Class of 2020, I believe, New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Also, in the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, Paul Roma, class of 2018 New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Also in the original class of 2020 Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And I might as well throw in my credentials, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Class of 2019 in the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame as a pro wrestling manager who took the fucking bumps. And of course, class of 2020 in Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. My over 50 years as a researcher, a historian, a producer, a promoter, an agent, a sweeper of floors, a ticket seller, a hanger-up of flyers, part of the ring crew, a smark, an insider, a fan, a mark. That's right, I said it, a mark. And I'm not offended by that word at all. I wear it with a badge of honor. So I think I fucking earned my opinion. Not deserved, earned. So that's the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling higher echelon. And then there's the one big guy, the money man, the silent partner. At 6'6", 340 pounds. Owner of the Rib House. That's right, the Rib House. In the greater New England tri-state northeast area, in the shadows of Titan Towers. The Rib House. If you want a nice meal and the best ribs in this whole New England area, you'll go to the Rib House and see my brother, the big man, Big Steve Tracy, a.k.a. Big Dave Paradise. That is the higher echelon. And then, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the former commissioner, military veteran who served this country, my brother from behind the walls, also in the class of 2020 Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, the inaugural class, and that would be one Sergeant Murray. Now there's many others that are staples, that are mainstays. Paul Perez does the music and the production. Paul Roma is the storyteller, the booker. Mario Mancini responsible for the venues, the setup, the owner. As I said, Big Steve is the silent partner. Then we have our ring announcers and our play-by-play and color commentary broadcast team. Of course, yours truly is a part of that rotation. There's Matt DeCourt, the voice of New England. And then there's also Double T, Talking Tommy, the future in sports journalism broadcasting. I already said it. Double T, Talking Tommy Sabin, the voice of the future. And then there's the professor over at the Pro Wrestling Wire and the Rick Del Santo show, also a part of the rotation in Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, and obviously the professor Rick Del Santo. I know I'm repeating, but I have to make sure that you fans with the brain of a dehydrated baby, you geeks and goons and virgins and neckbeards and mouth breathers and no offense, man. What I say, kayfabe, lighten up. That's the rotation of the people behind the scenes, especially the ring crew. And then, of course, the referees that really bring it all together. As I said, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling on all social media platforms. And if you want to find out real insider's view of Roma and Mancini, go over to the Power and Glory podcast with the master, the one who stirs the drink. And that would be Emir, the head of Victoire Podcasting. He has a lot of shows with a lot of different guys. Enrico Constantino, several other guests, and of course the mainstay, the staple of the Power and Glory podcast. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. Insider valuable information where you get credibility. Same thing when you go to Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling to be trained, to learn, to understand the industry, how to conduct yourselves in a locker room, around your peers, to the fans, family-friendly oriented. None of this TNA and blood and guts and all the stuff that they put out in 2025. It's old school. It's traditional. And it's pretty simple. So Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, we're just coming off of this past weekend by the co-producers down at Alley Fights, Hakim Ali and Nick Payne, the House of Pain, their house, their rules. They are the bookers. They are the men in charge, the producers for Alley Fights, which is usually monthly down at the facility. So if you ever get a chance to see Alley Fights, it's got all the young stars and the up-and-comers in this industry, the independent pro wrestling industry, which is a backbone of this fucking business. And I say it all the time. So shout out to the House of Pain. 1,000 pounds of pressure per slap. Let that marinate. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So that's Alley Fights. We just came off a banger, as the kids say, of an event for Alley Fights. Just a few weeks back, we had Bash at the Brewery 15 with Johnny Armada down at the Armada Brewing Company. Another incredible event, because that's what I'm going to talk about here today, as I get my 8-10 minute opening monologue and let you know what's going on. So you're better off when you walk out of here than when you fucking walked in. And I apologize for the cussing. I really do, man. You see, I'm in the middle of training, recovering. I got a lot of things going on, and I'm on the road. Just came out of a big meeting with Mancini last week. I did a video here on the channel about that. Coming up on 6,000 total videos on this channel. 1.5 million total views. 3,000 subscribers. Nobody works harder for you than I do. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. Shout out to my mods, the OTS Tribal Queen, Jen. We hope you're doing okay. And of course, my brother from another mother, Austin Nance, who's holding it down, keeping it real, and maintaining in the chat. Drop an elbow and maybe a finger poke on that like button. I would really appreciate it. Share, subscribe, leave a comment, inbox me, email me, text me. You know I'll get back to you, especially over on X, where I'm on there almost daily, still reporting on the top companies in the business. WWE, AEW, the PLEs, the pay-per-views. Follow me over on X at Big Daddy GOC. And the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos. Over 1,500 followers over there on X. I'm also on Facebook. I have 2 different accounts on Facebook where you can get a little more personal view and a face to the product, because I ain't hiding. I'm not hard to find. You'll see more about my family life, what I do, where I live. Again, no one's hiding. 25 years behind the fucking walls. I don't hide from anybody. 10 years chasing people through the streets. I don't hide from anybody. That's not being better. It's not being a tough guy. It's telling facts. Serve this country, law enforcement, behind the walls, with society's worst. People that society has deemed have irreparable harm. People that you're afraid of. When everybody else is running this way, me and my brothers were running the opposite way towards the chaos. Hence the name, the Guardian of Chaos. So let's get back on to what I want to talk about, which is Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, my home company. Been running shows for over a decade. Here we go. September 6th, which is right around the corner. We're coming to the end of August, heading into Labor Day. The weather's changing, as you can see. There's a lot going on in the world. That's why we don't try to talk too much about it. We are here for a temporary stress reliever, a distraction, and that's what I provide to you and to myself. And again, always on the road, running errands and meetings, and I like to take you guys along with me instead of being stuck down in the bunker. Listen, no winter's coming. I'll be down in the bunker all winter. Full of piss and vinegar today, man. And I'm excited about what's happening with Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling and all the stars and student and future talented, unbelievable grapplers coming out of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. From its very first student, who was a part of the dynasty with Alexander Hammerstone and MJF. And that would be one, breathe it in, because you're breathing in rarefied air. And he's certainly a narcissist. He's got that narcissistic behavior. And that would be Richard Holiday. Roma and Mancini's very first student. He's been in the WWE camps. He's been on AEW TV. He's been all over the globe. One of the top stars in the independents, and has beaten every star you can think of, from Matt Cardona to Matt Riddle and several others in between. And pretty soon he's going to be getting in the ring with Killer Kross. So that's Richard Holiday out of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling and his 10-year career right now. Then we have the other stars that are up and coming in NXT, in Evolve, and that would be Swipe Right, Brad Baylor. Hundos, man, you got hundos? Brad Baylor, one of the stars coming out of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Keep an eye on that kid. We also have, and they've been in Ring of Honor and GCW and AEW, that would be the Miracle Generation tag team of Dustin Flash Waller and Kylon King. That's right, the Miracle Generation, who's also been all over the independents, all over this country, and have worked for the bigger organizations. Keep an eye on that unbelievable tag team, the Miracle Generation, Waller and King. There's many more I could talk about. I'll just throw out a few names. You have Swish with Benny the Basketball, a.k.a. Jermaine Marbury, Rucker Park. This dude got springs, man. He could jump for days. Another unbelievable talent coming out of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, Jermaine Marbury. Then we have some of the other guys. Still a little greenhorns, but putting the money and the miles in and showing up everywhere and doing it the right way, because they are all Roma trained and Mancini brained. Let me say it again. Roma trained and Mancini brained. Let's talk about the Duke boys. And that would be All Go, A.G. Nelly, Caleb Duke, bang bang, Mr. Saturday Night, and of course Big Brother Corey Duke. Well, I got that mixed up. I went back and forth. Obviously, All Go, A.G. Nelly. Then there's Mr. Saturday Night, Corey Duke, bang bang. You know I'm always fucking up. I'm going to get to the Bully Ray quote in a second. And then there's Big Brother Caleb Duke, the trio known as the Duke Boys, coming out of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. That's right, the Duke Boys. Keep an eye on Corey Duke and All Go Nelly. I'm hearing big things from insiders. There's several other grapplers also coming out as stars out of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. There's the last of his kind, and he's certainly a cantankerous son of a bitch, and that would be Jeremy Lacroix. Yeah, can I have a little butter on the Lacroix part? It's not a bagel. I get it, but that's what it sounds like. The last of his kind, Jeremy Lacroix. Keep an eye on these names. There's many others. There's the heavyweight champion, the Crocodile King, Alan Compass. There's the Forest of the Lost and that whole clique and that whole stable led by Sylvan. We have the tag team champions, the Brawny Brothers, Alan Bano, and no gimmicks needed for sure. Sorry, Chris Candido. And that would be Zachariah Gibbs. Bano and Gibbs, the Brawny Brothers, your current tag team champions. I believe Sylvan is still the U.S. champion. The Forest of the Lost. They scare the rats off cheesecake. They make onions cry. Then you have NFG, Team NFG, the veterans of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, Mooch and Andy Sweet. That's right, Andy Sweet and Mooch. Talk about scaring the rats off cheesecake. I think I said that already. We have the up-and-comers that are coming out of nowhere, putting their time in on Mondays and Tuesdays, trying to get to Wednesdays and Saturdays, already made their debuts. Gabe Cruz, Josh Guzman, two young stars on their way up the ladder at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Gabe Cruz and Josh Guzman. There's many others that I could talk about on Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. I'm just throwing out the names that come right off my head. I mean, I could talk about the legendary Hall of Famer for Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, the New England hardcore beast, Bull Dread. I could talk about the King of Paradise, the current King of Paradise, the psycho clown, so to speak, Jekyll. I could talk about Bobby Loveless. I could talk about the El Gigantes, the giants, the big men in Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Whether it be the monster, Mr. Z, or one of the nicest guys I know at 6'6", Deuce Stovall. That's right, Deuce. There's a lot of big guys and a lot of things going on in Paradise Alley with a lot of talent. I mean, it truly is unbelievable. I'm here to talk about Bash at the Brewery 16, but I want to give you a rundown of the company. There's also the female division, whether it's Killer J. She is one hell of a bitch. No offense, Killer J, because you kick most of their asses on that roster. There's Roxanne Fury. There's the former women's champ, and she still may be the current champ. I haven't seen her on the last couple of shows. Skylar, the maniacal Skylar Gray. Those are the women competitors, and there's many others that I leave out as you see on a weekly basis and on the different shows. We have a lot of different guys and talent coming in. We're almost 20 minutes in here, and I got to get on to the next meeting. I got to get on the road. I'm also waiting for the wife and her therapy. So we're going to go through September 6th. September 6th. Write it down. Take it out of the calendar. Because the enforcer, Kevin Sabin, will be at the door. That's right. The enforcer of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, Kevin Sabin, will be at the door, counting the money, greeting the fans, and making sure everybody's in line. This is out to you, enforcer. September 6th, 8 p.m. bell time down at the Armada Brewing Company. Johnny Armada. It's a beautiful outdoor venue in the shadows of the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge. Again, a beautiful outdoor venue. Get there early. You can bring your chairs. They have seating. They have the food trucks. It really is unbelievable. We usually average about 200 fans on these outdoor venues for Armada Brewing, so you're not going to want to miss this one. This is Armada Brewing, a Bash at the Brewery, 16 different events so far. Down there in the shadows of the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge, as I already said. So here we go. The newly crowned Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Alan Compass, the man from down under, the Crocodile King. He certainly has come a long way. He is your not only a new heavyweight champion that beat the Red Lion, Chris Battle, an unbelievable legend in his own right. Compass defends the title, his very first title defense, down at the Armada Brewing Company against the aforementioned from Team NFG, Mooch, perhaps in the best shape of his career, the best shape of his life. And you never know where that, I don't want to call him a troll, but you never know where Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, his partner in NFG, Andy Sweet, laying in the weeds, the snake in the grass that he can be. So Compass defends for the first time against a very worthy competitor, a big guy in Mooch. Where's Andy Sweet going to be? So that's for the heavyweight title. That's the main event. We also have, returning after his absence of a few shows, a few different events, because he's still, at almost 50 years old, booked all over the place. 25-year career, former U.S. champion, former Intercontinental champion, and that would be the New England Hardcore Beast. Class of 2025 Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, who I inducted, Bull Dread, returns to the Armada Brewing Company as he takes on one half of the Haven, Jay Onyx, who with Sean Knight make up the Haven. And they've been traveling again, paying their dues all over this country, and especially the Northeast New England tri-state area. So that will be hardcore legend veteran against newcomer, who certainly paid his dues thus far, from the Haven, Jay Onyx. What a matchup that's going to be. Old school versus new school. Dread and Onyx. Now remember, Jay Onyx just had one heck of a match just a couple of days ago against Jeremy Lacroix at Alley Fights. Hard-hitting, physical matchup. Mind games like you wouldn't believe. So I'm looking forward to Dread and Onyx. Then we have, for the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships, the defending champions, Alan Bano and Zachariah Gibbs, Zach Gibbs, no gimmicks Gibbs, the Brawny brothers, and their big boys. They look like they move a lot of wheelbarrows and bales of hay during the day out on the farm. High energy, high impact. The defending Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Brawny brothers, defend against one of the biggest men in Paradise Alley. As I said, 6'6", 290 pounds, Mr. Z. Teams up with everybody's amor. He's certainly going to come out and maybe give roses to the crowd, or use the dozen roses to shove in the other talent's face. He's an annoying little son of a prick. Bobby Lovelace, who last time at the Armada Brewing Company was outside the ring with Mr. Z, acting as a manager. Now, does he have a manager's license? Because I know he's a wrestler. Is he supposed to be at ringside? Either way, Lovelace teams up with Mr. Z to go for the titles against the Brawny brothers. Now remember about Mr. Z and Lovelace, and we talk about Sylvan and his followers. They are from the Forest of the Lost, and by the looks of them, they're all lost. Forest of the Lost. So that ought to be an interesting matchup for the tag team titles down at the Armada Brewing Company. Then we have the King of Paradise, the current Clown King of Paradise, one scary dude, especially to the kids. That would be Jekyll, as he goes against the hottest rookie in Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, Roma-trained, Mancini-brained. One tough guy in Gabe Cruz. Jekyll against Cruz. We also have the United States champion, the leader of the Forest of the Lost, with all that paint and the walking stick and the long rider's jacket that he wears. I believe former veteran, no one to be trifled with. Sylvan puts the U.S. title on the line against one of the aforementioned Duke boys. You've seen him on SmackDown or on Raw in the background, on national TV, being a part of the WWE security team. Again, part of the tag team, the Duke Boys, and the six-man tag team, the Duke Boys, along with Corey and Caleb Duke. And this dude is all go. A.G. Nelly gets his chance at the United States title against the king of the land of the lost, Forest of the Lost, land of the lost, Sylvan. This is going to be a high-impact maneuver. I give the size and strength to Sylvan, but definitely the speed, the athleticism, the agility to all go Nelly. This is worth the price of admission alone for the United States title. Nelly and Sylvan. Then we have a three-way dance with three men that can go. Some veterans, some on the rise, and some as green as grass, but all tough sons of bitches. A three-way dance. Izzy Sanchez, in the best shape of his career, a definite veteran, a former multi-time champion, and a guy that gets in and puts in the work and certainly takes no prisoners. Izzy Sanchez takes on the aforementioned other half of the Haven, and this kid has transformed his body, and that would be Sean Knight, whether it's in tag teams, six-man tags, or as a singles competitor. Sean Knight is on the rise in the ladder of the independents, traveling all over the greater New England, tri-state, northeast area. And with Jay Onyx on his side, they're an unbelievable tag team. And as a singles competitor, I'm telling you, Sean Knight is a man to watch. High energy, and again, in the best shape of his career. And they take on the big man from the Duke Boys, the Enforcer, just new to his career, former military vet as well as a lot of the grapplers and talent and supporters and people that run the front office are at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Military, veterans, that's what you get. Roma trained, Mancini brained. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Use your own discernment. So it's Izzy Sanchez, Sean Knight, and Caleb Duke. The big man. His arms got to be about 20 inches. What a three-way banger, as the kids say, that's going to be. Sanchez, Knight, Caleb Duke. Now remember, Caleb Duke off of Armada just had an impressive victory over the AIWF North Atlantic champion, Kaizo, the Haitian Hellion. So speaking of Kaizo, the AIWF, that was a non-title event, so Caleb did not win the title. Kaizo, the AIWF North Atlantic champion, goes up against, as the aforementioned in the beginning of this video, go back when I talk about the current stars and talent and Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, another 6'5", 6'6", and that would be Deuce. That's right. Happier than anybody I could see in the locker room or on the roster. What a positive attitude and the energy and what he brings to the crowd and the fans. Deuce Stovall. Stovall takes on Kaizo. Now, I'm not sure if this is a title match. When Kaizo lost to Caleb Duke, the belt didn't change. So this might be a non-title match. But Deuce Stovall, looks like he should be playing in the NBA, takes on the Haitian Hellion, as I always say. The Haitian Hellfighter, Kaizo, who's as thick as a stump. And maybe as smart as one, too. No offense, man. I know you're watching. So there we have it for September 6th, Bash at the Brewery, the Armada Brewing Company, in the Elm City, in the shadows of the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge. 8 p.m. bell time. I'm going to run it down again. Alan Compass defends the heavyweight title in his first defense against Team NFG's Mooch. Bull Dread takes on Jay Onyx. The Brawny Brothers defend the tag team titles against Mr. Z and Bobby Loveless. Jekyll, the king of paradise, goes up against Gabe Cruz, the leader of the land of the lost, the forest of the lost. Sylvan defends the U.S. title against All Go Nelly. Izzy Sanchez, Sean Knight, Caleb Duke in a three-way dance. And Deuce Stovall goes up against Kaizo, the AIWF North Atlantic champion. I believe that's 7 matches, card subject to change. There could be another match added for all I know, but I believe I ran all the matches down. Thank you guys so much for being here. I couldn't appreciate it enough. I'll say that to say this. Follow my home company. $10-$20 to get in. Family friendly. Access to the stars, intermission, food, nothing like how they're just raking people across the coals in these big companies, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, Impact, and it goes on and on. Pricing out the fans, the blue collar, the families. Support independent pro wrestling. There's nothing like it. So thanks for being here. 30 minutes. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. I'll say that to say this because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it.